Today, as we talk about worship, I want to turn to the New Testament and to the fourth chapter of the Gospel of John. Fourth chapter of John's Gospel is the remarkable encounter between Jesus and a woman of Samaria at a well. The two of them are there alone. She is there by herself, seemingly because she is a social outcast. She's been married multiple times. We don't know why. Some people make assumptions about the woman's morality, but we don't know. We don't know if her husbands have died or what the situation is, but she is there and she's getting water when no other women are, and Jesus has sent the disciples into town, and Jesus asks her to give him a drink. Jesus shares the gift of his need, which is a wonderful theme to talk about as well. You know, so often many of us were very willing to help other people, but we're not comfortable asking people to help us or to do things for us. And Jesus shares the gift of his need with this woman, give me something to drink. And it sparks a whole conversation that ends up transforming not only the woman's life, but the lives of so many people in her town where she lives, because she ends up telling everybody about Jesus. And in their conversation, as it deepens, and I encourage you to read John chapter 4 in its entirety through verse 42. She realizes Jesus is no ordinary person. She says, I perceive you are a prophet. And then she asks him a religious or spiritual question to kind of deflect the focus from her personal life to something not quite as close to home. And she asks Jesus a question about, well, you Jews say, you know, we're to worship in Jerusalem, and the Samaritans, we say we should worship here. And Jesus says, as part of his answer, in chapter 4, verse 24, God is spirit, and those who worship him must worship in spirit and truth. And spirit and truth are two important components of worship, both our personal worship with God and again, our worship together as a community. What does it mean to worship in spirit? Well, I think in spirit implies, right, energy, passion, right? If you have a spirited conversation, how is that conversation? It's energetic, right? So when we worship, we want to worship in spirit with energy, with passion, with emotion, with devotion, and we want to worship in truth. And that's why the God who we worship, the one who, as I said yesterday, the protector of father of orphans, the protector of widows, God is love, God is merciful. We know the character of God, and we want to worship God in truth. We don't want to worship a God who isn't truly God, the God of the universe, the God who has created the earth and all that is in it. So in your own worship, keep this answer of Jesus in mind. God is spirit, and those who worship him must worship in spirit and in truth.